Hello, welcome to the fishing series. In this episode, we'll be discussing a bunch of different kinds of fish that you can find in the Chesapeake Bay and off the coast of Maryland. Now, since all of these fish will be caught, can be caught in the Chesapeake Bay, this video really won't be focused on specifically where you can find these fish in the bay. Rather, it's just going to focus on the facts about each fish and their general weight and size that they can get up to. So we'll be talking about 8 different kinds of fish, and that's not even all of the fish species that you can find in the bay. The first fish that we'll be talking about, though, is actually the Maryland state fish, and the fish that most people will be seeking to catch in the bay, which is the striped bass. The striped bass is an incredibly prized fish who's the most sought after game fish in the Chesapeake Bay. The best time to catch these fish is typically around the spring and fall and summer too, around warmer times. And it's best fished by trolling with artificial bait. And these things can get really, really big, coming anywhere around 4 feet and 50 pounds at the biggest. Up next, we have the bluefish, which gets its name from the dark blue coloration that it has. Other than the color, it's most easily identified by its incredibly sharp teeth and the way it fights when it's on the line. You'll know when you caught one of these guys on the line, or if it's stolen your bait. I have reeled up plenty of artificial bait that I've had on the line, and I've just reeled it up and it's been completely shredded. I've come up with half of the bait that I put down. One of the main reasons people actually go for this guy is because of the fight they give up. They're not really all that great tasting, but they put up a pretty good fight, so they're pretty good game fish. It's best to troll for these guys with artificial bait, kind of like the striped bass. And they reach up to around 2 feet long, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, somewhere around there. Or not really 30 pounds, more like a foot to 2 feet, or 10 to 20 pounds, somewhere around there. The next 2 fish are pretty similar, and they're the next I'm going to be talking about. And they're similar in both identification, which is the way they look, and also what people catch them for, what they are used for. And these fish are the pinfish and spotfish. And not really called spotfish, they're just typically called spot. If someone hears someone say, we're going for spot, that's, you'll know what they're going for once we start talking about it. So we'll start with the spot. These fish are best identified with their signature black spot on the sides of their bodies. You'll instantly know when you've caught one. People will typically catch these fish to use later as live bait, so they'll keep them and they'll use them for something else, maybe like shark or something like that. The other fish, the pinfish, is also identified with its black spot on the side of its body and is also used for live bait. The main distinction between these two is that the pinfish has a very needly spine, which the spot does not have. Now, spot can be caught up to 12, 13 inches, 16, 17, 15 ounces, while the pinfish can be caught up to around 8-10 feet and around 7-8 ounces. And typically kind of smaller fish. Both of these can be caught with either artificial bloodworms, live bloodworms, or just any kind of artificial bait. The next fish I will talk about is called the flounder. You probably have heard of this guy. These are bottom feeder type of fish that have both eyes on one side of its head. The reason for the fact that it has both eyes on one side of its head, one side of its body really, is that it lays down on one side of its body, right on the floor of the ocean, and looks up to see for any fish that pass by it. So when it sees something on the above it, it'll just go catch it and go bite it because it has really sharp teeth. These guys have plenty of razor sharp teeth, so definitely be careful when fishing for these guys. Don't stick your hand and try to take the hook out, get a tool or something to do that. They're best caught with stuff like squid or crab, any type of stuff that kind of goes near the bottom, any type of stuff that they might go for, like squid or crab. And they can be caught up to around 2 feet and 3.5 feet to 20 pounds, somewhere around there. And the reason why most people would fish for these guys is they actually taste really, really good. Next up is the Atlantic croaker. Weird name, right? Definitely looks nothing like a frog, and yet there's a pretty good reason for that name. One of its defining features is that when it's reeled up from the water, you can actually hear it croaking, just like a frog. These are really great beginner fish, really great for beginners to start reeling for. They don't weigh a lot, they don't really fight all that much. They fight a decent amount so that you can get used to the game. But they're really great for beginners. Anyone that's just like a young fisherman just trying to get into the sport, definitely would recommend going for something like a croaker because they taste good, they fight, decently, nothing too crazy, not even like a bluefish, not even anywhere near like a bluefish or a striped bass, nothing like that. And they don't weigh all that much, and they taste good. The next fish that you probably have all heard of is the northern pufferfish. Yeah, they're right in the bay. A relative of its more spiny and toxic tropical relative. This guy can increase, just like this tropical relative, he can increase its size twofold by sucking up a bunch of water into its body. They do this as a defense mechanism, actually, to discourage predators from swallowing them. They don't do this just for fun or anything like that. So, for example, if a shark were to try to swallow this guy whole, pretty much what's going to happen is this fish is going to suck up all this water inside of itself and bloat it up like to twice its size and get stuck into the shark's throat, forcing the shark to just pretty much say, all right, I'm done. I'm not going to try and swallow this anymore, and just spit him right out. Though they're not toxic, these guys definitely still have a really, really strong bite. So definitely be careful when you're trying to, get the hook out. I would still say use a tool. I mean, these guys have really strong teeth. They can be caught up to like around 11, 12 inches in feet, 11 inches to a foot in length. They can weigh anywhere from around like 14 to 16 ounces. Now the last fish we'll be talking about today will probably be one of the most interesting ones to me, and the one that you'll actually never really want to like actually fully reel up or even land on your hook in the first place. Really unfortunate fish to actually land. This fish is called the southern stingray. And there's a bunch of reasons why you don't want this thing on your hook. That's right, yeah, the weird looking oval fish with a nasty venomous tail. These massive things, other than the fact that they are incredibly dangerous with the sting that they can deliver with their tail, the main reason that you would want to stay away from these guys, trying reeling these guys up, is that they are more likely to reel you in. Not only can they reach up to 4, 5, 6 feet, with around like 50, 40, 60 pounds, anywhere in there, they can also use their massive wing-like fins that they have to push themselves away from you, and they're really, really freaking strong. They don't taste good at all. You don't even want to bother. Like, if you see them, if you hook one and you're fighting it and it's really fighting hard and you think maybe it's a shark, and then when it's finally come up to the water, you can see what it is. If you see it's a ray, don't bother. Just cut the line, cut your losses, don't bother. There is no point in reeling that thing up. It's venomous, it can seriously hurt you. They don't taste good. There's just no reason to catch them. Cut your line, cut your losses, be done with it. And with that, that's all the fish I wanted to talk about today. I'll likely come back to this topic as there's actually over like 25 species of fish in the Chesapeake Bay that you can catch and that I can talk about for a really long time. But I'm gonna save that for another time because I could talk forever about these things, about all these fish really. So join me next time. We're actually going to be talking about fish that you can catch all the way out in the ocean in the eastern coast. See you.